Hey guys, so I played Elara 2 in Shadows against King of Nothing with all the cask imps, some Dreadrots, the Neigh Slayers, 2 minions of Neigh Slayers, the Twilight Sisters to bring back the Neigh Slayers because that's not really annoying, Death Kneel, 2 moans, and a Cage Rager. And it's the King of Nothing. He had his Trump Arcana, he had Desolation, which is produce, a burning cloud or acid bath or something once you end your movement around him. And then he had Labyrinth, which is the -2 speed Arcana. So my list is a CID version. It's double infiltrators. One of them has a free Eris on it. Mage Hunter Strike Force. The infiltrators hit harder. Back up to that. The Strike Force has magic weapons and CRA as part of the CID. So testing that. And then the Nis Hunters with Selena. The Phoenix is a little cheaper and a little bit better mat, which is pretty good going into Skin and Moans. It makes a really big difference. Moros has parry, speed 7 instead of 6. And I think that's it. I think those are the only changes to him. He feels a lot better though. And it's Elara. And I've got a Soulless Void Tracer, 2 Arcanist, Narn, Mage Hunter, Assassin. So I have 1 unit of infiltrators on the right and the Nis on the right, and then I've got 1 unit of infiltrators on the left and 1 unit of the Strike Force on the left. And I did that because I wanted melee and guns on each side because I wanted to control the cask imps without investing anything with my guns. I also needed the melee to kill Skin and Moans, this was my first time going into trying to armor crack with these new infiltrators, and they are freaking awesome. Really liking them. So I had the opportunity to go first. Dice favored me, thank goodness. I try and spread wide because King of Nothing has cloud walls. Some of the problems I'm facing into this list are cloud walls. The cask imps can keep coming back. All the blast damage is going to just murder my dudes. And he has an Ashes to Ashes that jumps D3 times within 4 inches, almost like Electroleaf doing POW 10s. He also has a Trump Arcana that every time I kill a War Beast, I'm going to take D3 damage to the D3 nearest people. That's pretty bad for me. It can really screw up a lot of my stuff, and it does, and we're going to get into that. So I want to spread wide so I can, lessen the effect of his cloud wall. And this skips his turn, but basically he puts out his clouds and he moves a whole bunch of cask imps forward to jam me up. And this is the results after my turn, where I went in and shot down all those guys, shot down some Neigh Slayers. He shield guarded and saved one last Neigh Slayer, and then I jam up a little bit with infiltrators. I probably shouldn't have jammed with the infiltrators. I think I should have used them more passively, because this was not a feat turn, and everything in my list can kill his small models, his cask imps, his Dreadrots, his Neigh Slayers, but not everything can kill the Skin and Moans and Cage Ragers. I really need that armor cracking, and I am giving away my armor cracking models. Even though they're cheaper and fit the role of giveaways, I should be giving away my more expensive Strike Force or my more expensive Nis Hunters, because they aren't as crazy needed in this matchup. So, moving on to his turn. Back up for a second, I'm sorry. My strategy with this turn is I didn't want to commit very much. I only wanted to give away a little bit, and I wanted to play a little bit more passively and get a big alpha. I didn't feel like I could do a whole lot. I was actually debating if I tried to run an Infiltrative Scything Touch over to the Death Kneel, because it was in the King of Nothing, -5 Armor Shroud, and I didn't give him any corpses. I'm wondering if I could have tried to shoot down the Death Kneel. Like, that would have been freaking sweet. But then I would have had all 20 of my Strike Force up there in front of him, and they just all would have melted so fast, and they probably would have found a way to dig out my infiltrators in the back. But that's a debate. I'm definitely willing to talk about that. I'm looking for your guys' suggestions on this game and how I set it up here. Up until this point, I'm setting up the big alpha. That is my goal. So he comes forward and he kills a bunch of stuff, and now it's big alpha time. This is where things go wrong. This is the important turn that makes attrition difficult for me to win. So this Phoenix goes, it's feat turn for Elara. This Phoenix goes flying over the top of this house and kills the Skin and Moans. It's Mat 7 Phoenix now, so it can do that. The Skin and Moans only had 1 corpse on it. I didn't need Scything Touch. I had a Mage Hunter Assassin who could walk over there and smack it again if I really needed to. but felt pretty good. That triggers his Trump Arcana. Right here, been thinking through this game a lot. This is where I should have just said, okay, he popped his Trump Arcana. He has War Beasts all out in front of me. I'm going to lose a lot of models if I commit anymore, and I should have backed up and contested the zones. He does not have the ability to dig my models out of the back of the zones. I could have shot down all of his dudes, all his little infantry dudes, shot down some more neigh slayers. Maybe now's the time to run an infiltrator to the death knell and try and shoot it down with Scything Touch on it and a whole bunch of POW 10s. It's like dice off 6, but the thing only has 20 boxes. I mean, stuff happens. I can see it from anywhere on the map. Would be cool. Narn goes up and he kills the distillery on the left. That's a pretty big deal. I clear out pretty much all the infantry that are in front of me. But what actually happens in this turn, instead of backing up, I pretty much kill all of his beasts except for the Cage Rager in the left. A whole bunch of the D3 and D3 damage kill my guys with Scything Touch. So the 9 Nis I sent into the Cage Rager don't end up killing it. They half health it. That's really bad for me. And I don't score any zones because things just die from the D3s. I lose about 10 models on this turn. On my turn, I lose about 10 models, and it really does not feel good. And I think this is where I lost my attrition. And I'm really looking for input and feedback and what you guys think. I'd love to talk about it and see if there's something I should have done differently on this turn, or if you guys have any ideas. Any feedback is appreciated. So that Phoenix I sent to kill the Skin of Moans, he sent the Death Knell with Dark Shroud and 3 neigh slayers over there, and he just hosed it, just murdered it flat. He used the cask imp to kill all the Nis that was on the Cage Rager. Skin of Moans came up, killed a whole bunch of infiltrators. More stuff died. He started shooting off all the D3s. He cloud walled in front of the Cage Rager. And he hurt me. He hurt me real bad. I don't have very much left. So I'm looking at an assassination run. I decide against it. There's just way too many variables and it's too low. So I want to see what I can get done with attrition. And I put Scything Touch on the Strike Force, I put Scything Touch on Moros. Moros goes into the Cage Rager, and he finishes off the Cage Rager with a charge from an infiltrator as well. On the left, I do 2 big CMAs with my Mage Hunter Strike Force going into the Skin and Moans. It's about half health from 2 infiltrator charges on my alpha turn, and they finish it off. Dice go really hot. It was cool. I rolled like a 14 and I think it was like a 15. Really, really hot dice. And that was nuts. But I mean, hey, it was a lot of fun. It doesn't change my fate, but it was pretty cool bringing down a Skin and Moans with Mage Hunter Strike Force, which I really don't consider a melee unit. They're POW 9s for heaven's sake, even though they have CMA. They're still POW 9s. And over on my right side, infiltrators go into some Dreadrots. Eris goes into some Dreadrots. Eris tries to quick work and shoot Longfellow. She misses the 7. It happens. Yeah. Distillery's still up, King of Nothing's still up, all the little neigh slayers are still up, and the Death Knell's still up. This is what that turn looks like. This is the ending result. So, instead of murdering the crap out of my stuff and starting to win on scenario, he decides he wants to go for a long shot assassination run where King of Nothing goes up and puts his using Sands of Fates to Dreadrot to get Elara into the -5 aura, and then have Longfellow come up and shoot Elara too. Ends up not working. King of Nothing's on a no camp. He does not kill Elara too. Death Knell and neigh slayers on the left destroy all my Strike Force. I think if he had put some cask imps into Moros, destroyed all my Strike Force, killed Eris and the infiltrators, he would have been a really good position. Elara 2 and Moros cannot contest enough zones to not just lose the game. And he still has infantry that he can run all over the place that he could Sands of Fate to. And just avoid dying. So, yeah. That happens. Also, the distillery's still there. He comes in, does his really bad assassination run. Moros is going to go over and bop King of Nothing to death, and I'm going to get a really, really lucky win. And on his assassination run, Elara 2 was camping 3. I wasn't sure what was going on there. But yeah, so that was a grace win. I really didn't deserve the win. You can see I have a total of 2 models left, and he's flooding the board with cask imps, and he has the Twilight Sisters, so he can keep bringing back neigh slayers. Yeah, no, this is really bad for me. I just get lucky. Well, not lucky. We talked about it while he was doing it, and he said, it's fun going for assassination runs, so I want to do it. This game's been going my way, and I've loved it. And it's kind of like a pity win for me, I guess. But, yeah. Oh, this sideways picture shows Morris popping King of Nothing down. That's that. What do you guys think? What should I have done differently? Any opinions are welcome. Thank you. I'm kind of looking at different angles here. There's a lot of different things I could have done differently.